Hi everyone, I'm continuing my series of showing you up-close looks of my custom Loungefly collection. I had a request to look at the Meet the Robinsons bag as well as Coraline, and I had questions about the custom nameplates that I make. So let's start with this other mother Coraline bag. Love, love, love. I'm gonna put this one aside for now. So before we even get into the bag, I just wanna show you a close-up look of this custom nameplate I use. I believe this was a Disney Pixar bag. I think it was the Pixar ball bag. Of course, this is gonna say Disney on it. And I think this might've been the very first custom nameplate I ever made because I actually took a Dremel and was filing down the word Disney because Loungefly and Disney were 3D and I was trying to make it as flat as possible, but then after this one I realized it was just an unnecessary step because I learned how to camouflage it, which after painting I put nail polish with glitter on it as the background, and so when you turn it to the side, when the light hits at certain angles, you can kind of see how like I dremeled and filed it and whatnot, but that's because it's a solid black. So that's why when you go through and use like a glitter nail polish as the background, it disguises any imperfections that could be lingering. I do have a video where I show how I make my custom nameplate, so I will leave that link down below if you're looking for a tutorial. But more or less, long story short, for the background color, I usually go in with like a paint pen. I usually use a wider tip like this one. After I have the background, that's when I'll go over it with any nail polish. Doesn't matter the brand, just you pick out the glitter you like and you put it all over. I just wanted to show you the nail polish glitter. I don't remember exactly what nail polish this was, but I don't spend $10 on nail polish. I get one of like the $2 ones. Then once that dries, since Loungefly and all these dots stick out, I then go through with the fine tip Posca pens. You see how much smaller this one is, so it's a big difference. And if I decide maybe I don't feel like using one of these paint markers that day, maybe there's a lot of details that I just can't get, maybe like the tips of that crown, that's when I'll go in and use one of these detailing paint brushes. This one I got off Nemo, so I've used it for other projects. I just realized it's called Lonely Finger. That's weird. But yeah, so some days I might just use acrylic paint that you can get from Target, Walmart, Michaels, dip it in, and then I'll sit there and do the detailing. To mimic the font, like this one, obviously Coraline font, I just sit there and I can kind of eyeball it. And I'm okay if it doesn't completely match up, you know, this is just for my collection. But the reason why I don't typically film me making custom nameplates is because when I make these, my head is like up close to that nameplate. So if I filmed it, the only thing you see is the back of my head, the whole video. And once I'm done with the font, I go through and I tape off everything. I spray it down with a clear coat just to protect it against scratches. This does a really good job. This one's gloss. I think for this one, I think I used matte, if not satin. There's not really a sheen to it, so I probably used a matte finish for it. It's just preference. I feel like Other Mother's more of a matte type of gal. But let's now look at the bag itself. So I'm gonna start by giving Sophie Ray's Custom Fabric a shout out because they're the ones who designed this Other Mother print. 10 out of 10, so nice, so nice. I think her shop just sells the design files now. I don't know if they ever went back to selling the fabrics, but once upon a time they sold the fabrics and that's how I bought this. But now I'll link her Etsy shop down below. She sells the design files and then you have to use a print service like K&A's Custom Fabrics to print it out. I definitely have things that I absolutely love about this bag and things that I absolutely hate. So I'm just gonna give you a really close up look. It's just been sitting in my closet. I do use this one because I love Other Mother, but we have this pocket in the front. That kind of gives you an idea. I don't think I've ever put anything in here because that's highly likely someone can steal it out of your back pocket. You wouldn't even know. These were all separate. I don't even remember if these were keychains or if they were earrings, but this was originally from Hot Topic and I liked it better as a keychain, so I think they were earrings. So I took them all apart and just added them onto this little key ring hole. And I put it here. When this was a Pixar bag, this held like a coin purse, if I'm not mistaken, of the Pixar ball. As we turn it to the side, I do have these bag clips. They are heavy, so they are not my favorite. We have Other Mother in her rare form and her in her sweet, let me sew buttons onto your eyes. Another heavy item is this door key. That's also a keychain that I got from Hot Topic. These three are just heavy, so I don't know how long I'll keep those on for. This bag does not have side pockets, so it's just fabric on fabric. And this is one of the things that I do not like about this bag is that we don't have piping, is what I call it here, to separate the fabric from the zipper. So it is tedious to glue this fabric down and not get fabric on the zipper teeth. And you know what happens when you get fabric on the zipper teeth? The zipper does not like to open and close. Another thing too is when you're gluing the fabric like this, it could take away from the surface area of the zipper itself. So mine does open. There is minor resistance, which does drive me nuts, but it's not the end of the world. This is the inside of the bag, and I thought it actually matched pretty well with Other Mother. You have black with red stars. It comes with a nice zippered pocket. This is the bottom of the bag, covered in fabric. I don't know, I like this. I like it overall. I do wish it was bigger. I'll show you next to the Meet the Robinsons backpack. For a Loungefly, this definitely tends to be more on the mini side. But that is a close-up of this one. Let me know what you guys think. What do you love? What would you change about it, if anything? Let me go grab the Meet the Robinsons now. It's funny because I definitely said this one's smaller, but I think it's just because this one is way wider than the Coraline one. So in that aspect, this one is taller. This one's a lot wider with a front pocket and side pockets. So you definitely have more storage compartments in the Meet the Robinsons one versus Other Mother, but that's neither here nor there. All right, time for Meet the Robinsons. I love this backpack. I designed this fabric, so I am very biased when it comes to this design. Sophie Ray, who designed the Other Mother one, also has her own rendition of Meet the Robinsons design file, so I will link that down below if anyone's interested as well. I also made a tutorial as well, which I'll also link down below, on how I design files for fabrics for my custom bags. But one of the great things is you can choose what characters you want to include, what characters you want to exclude, where you want them, what characters you want larger, smaller, all that goodness. But here's a close-up of the top of the bag. We'll move down to the front pocket. Oh my goodness, so stinking cute. This actually makes me want to go watch it now. The inside of one of the side pockets, so you can kind of see the lining of the original print, but we'll look at that when I actually open the bag. There's vinyl from the original bag, which is what the fabric's over. I try to stop it so that way it doesn't go onto the lining part. I just feel it holds better when it stops right before, I think you guys can see that right there, right before the original vinyl meets the fabric. Just fun fact. That is the side pocket, continuing along to the top. I try to make it so this wider panel just said Meet the Robinsons in multiple places and carried on throughout it. This is how the back looks, and this is one of those backpacks where I lucked out because I didn't have to customize the bottom, so it just saved me a little bit of time and energy not having to do it. And that's the inside lining. I think it was Walt Disney World Parks bag, something like that. I'll find it and I'll post a picture of it. It does not have an inside pocket though, which I always think is weird for one of the Disney Parks bags. I always thought they had it, I guess not though. Some people, when they watch my videos, they get highly offended at the bags that I choose to use if it's a certain fandom that they love, and you know, how dare I cover it up. I just want to say, when I customize bags, I do not look at whatever prints on it. I look at the color of the piping as well as possibly the nameplate, and this one just gave me cloud vibes and sky vibes, and that's why I used this backpack with it. I felt it went really well with this Meet the Robinsons print. So that is this bag, as close up can be. Here are the two bags back together again. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know what bags you possibly want to see next. Do you want to see season? Maybe you want to see a Halloween or Christmas bag next. I'm game to show you guys whatever you want to see. And if you have not seen either of these movies, go watch them. They're great. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. If you want, feel free to like and subscribe. And until next time, bye friends.